With Brandon Sanderson's 7th installment within the Mistborn saga being released in just a few days, I wanted to impart my thoughts on Era 2 thus far. I considered doing another video similar to the one I did for Era 1, which I'll link up above and in the description below. However, I decided that I'll do a mass ranking video alongside my review for the Lost Metal instead once I've finished it. Alas, I still want to discuss Era 2, or at least begin discussing it before the Lost Metal's release on November 15th, and so I'll be putting out 3 shorter length videos to match the shorter length books within the series over the next few days, covering the Alloy of Law, Shadows of Self, and Bands of Mourning. This is the first of those videos. The Alloy of Law was originally meant to be a standalone within the fantasy series, bridging the gap between Era 1 and the originally planned Era 2. However, during the time of writing, Sanderson decided there was a much bigger story to tell here in this steampunk-inspired, industrialized Wild West on Scadrial. The book still very much feels like a standalone, but also comes equipped with enough Easter eggs and seedlings to set up a broader story. Coming off the high that is the Hero of Ages, the Alloy of Law takes place about 300 years afterwards, following 3 main protagonists, Waxilium Ladrian, Marasi Combs, and Wayne, as they try to put a stop to a mass streak of hijackings and kidnappings. This is certainly a smaller scale story with lower, more local stakes set in a time indicative of the Wild West. It might not be everyone's cup of tea, but I'd say it certainly met my expectations and went just above them in terms of its plot. The action does feel a bit lighter and less intense as well, however Sanderson stripping off the fat and keeping this mystery to a shorter length certainly benefits the overall health of this book. The pacing feels fluid and quick, and Sanderson shows his mastery of the craft by knowing when a moment needs a bit more time to shine, allowing characters and story beats to be fully fleshed out and prepare the reader for the next scene. This is classic Sanderson, but he's quick and to the point, focusing more on a fun story than a deep-thinking one. As for its characters, I don't see anyone disliking our main duo of Wax and Wayne. Wayne is probably one of Sanderson's most fun and unique characters, and Wax certainly helps to keep Wayne and the story focused as he tries to piece the clues together. The main villain is certainly a very solid one, albeit a minor step down from Era 1. If the book had been longer, and if Sanderson had dedicated more page time for this villain and his ideology, this component would definitely be higher. The relationships between these characters also elevates this component. With romantic tension and strong bonds between friends, these characters are instantly likable and share fantastic chemistry. Likewise, the adventure they go on and the lessons they learn by the end make for some powerful moments that will leave you satisfied. And finally, the world, Scadrial. We've seen it before in Era 1 and now get to see how it's changed after the Catacendre preservation. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. While Sanderson teases just enough without info dumping, the true magic for this component lies within its magic system and how Sanderson has tweaked it just enough to remain interesting. With new elements introduced such as Twinborn and compounding, a very fun and balanced magic system becomes even more intriguing. Now, it's easy to tell Sanderson put a lot of thought into this component, but it's also evident that he's saving the crux of this new world for later installments. All in all, this was a fantastic read, filled with fun characters, crazy twists, and believable moments. Compared to Era 1, it's on par, and when considering that it's half the length of any one of those books, the satisfaction one has will feel compounded even further. I'm giving this one a very solid 8.5 out of 10. I hope you enjoyed this short review. If you were hesitant on Era 2, let me know if this video puts you over the edge to dive back into the world of Mist and Metal. I certainly think it's worth your time and investment. Be on the lookout for my review on Shadows of Self in the coming days. I'm currently finishing up the Bands of Mourning and hope to have that review out by November 15th as well. But in the meantime, take care and have a great weekend.